Hello, everybody. Thank you all for being here, I'm really very happy to be here. I'd like to thank the organizers for this opportunity to tell you more about the next generation of peace builders. But before I do so, let me tell you a few words about the CyberPeace Institute. The CyberPeace Institute was created in 2019 in Geneva, Switzerland, by our founding partners, Microsoft, Hewlett Foundation, MasterCard, among others. And since then, we now count 27 staff of different nationalities and coming from various backgrounds. And our mission is to build cyberpeace. Now, how are we doing that? The way we do this is, my apologies. The way we do this is by working together across three main teams here at the Institute: the assistance, analysis, and advancement team. In assistance, we assist humanitarian NGOs with their cybersecurity needs. When we do so, we collect stories that we then share with our colleagues in analysis to document, to research, and to analyze, to then inform our colleagues in advancement who work to create policies at the UN and international level. Now, why are we doing this? What's the rationale behind doing all this? What's the need actually? So as some of you might know, before COVID, 740 million people lived in extreme poverty. Now with COVID, with the pandemic, this number is going to rise by 150 million people. These people encounter huge barriers in terms of social, economic, sanitary, political life due to conflict, natural disasters, and the list is so long, it can go on for the rest of my talk. Now, these people, they depend on the critical services offered by NGOs, by humanitarian NGOs, who in turn, they depend on donations coming from different institutions, private, public, from government, and from private individuals. Now, we did some research and we realized that humanitarian organizations actually raise around $30 billion annually. Now, I do not know if you knew that, but cyber criminals do. Cyber criminals also know that only 1 in 10 NGOs train their staff on cybersecurity matters. Only 1 in 4 NGOs monitor their networks for any kind of suspicious activity, and only 1 in 5 has any kind of cybersecurity strategy or plan. Now, you see, attacks on humanitarian NGOs are not something new. However, since there is no protection, since protection is so low and there is nothing really put in place, these are easy attacks that imply very low risks for the perpetrators, for the cyber criminals, and also a big payout if you refer to the slide before where we saw how much money these humanitarian NGOs raise annually to help vulnerable people. Now, according to our research, around 500 attacks were committed since 2016, each one of them a different intensity or severity, as you can see, depending on the money or the data stolen and the damage done. Now, because of this, we realized that cyberpeace begins with the most vulnerable being the people these humanitarian NGOs help. But in order to be able to support them, we realized that it's important to protect these humanitarian NGOs to be able to carry out their job, to deliver critical services to these people. And that's how the CyberPeace Builders came to be. That's our solution to this challenge. Now, what are the builders? What do they do? What do they offer? Now, the CyberPeace Builders are cybersecurity experts coming from all trades, and they are employed by local and international companies. Thanks to them, we can offer 3 different types of services, 3 pillars. The first pillar of services that we can offer are pre-incident. We can do security assessments of NGO systems. We do cybersecurity training for all staff to render them more aware of all cybersecurity threats. We help them with their security policies, cybersecurity policies, and we also do vulnerability scans of their emails and websites. Now, let me give you an example. Last year, in summer, end of summer 2021, one of our beneficial organizations, the Union for International Cancer Control, got their Instagram account hacked. They got this account hacked because they received a phishing email claiming that they had some sort of copyright infringement And of course, when you see something like this, you say, "Oh no, this is serious. Let's take care of this." We didn't want to do any kind of copyright, but they fell in the trap. And then 2 days later on, the cyber criminals contacted them via WhatsApp, telling them, "Yeah, we have your account, and if you want to get access, if you want to regain access, you have to pay us this many thousands of francs in Bitcoin by following this link." The Union for International Cancer Control, or UICC, they did join the CyberPeace Builders, and we managed to help them with this issue. But we also managed to improve their overall cybersecurity infrastructure. The second pillar of support that we offer is post-incident. Here we can do open source intelligence, as we recently did, actually, not in the context of the CyberPeace Builders, but in the context of the Ukraine conflict, where we developed a Ukraine timeline of cyber attacks. We also do dark web monitoring to inform attack notification, but we also do recovery and investigations to be able to properly notify our beneficiaries, the humanitarian NGOs we work with. Now, just to give you an example in terms of investigations, in December last year, the Institute has discovered this phishing campaign that was targeting specifically humanitarian NGOs. By working with some private partners, we realized that the cyber criminals, they were leveraging a gap, a security issue in Outlook, and they were sending phishing emails containing malware. After all this research, after all this open source intelligence dissemination gathering, my colleagues informed all our NGOs, all our partner NGOs, but not only, about this threat. The last pillar of support is just general support, where we do coaching for managers. More precisely, how do we talk about cybersecurity? How do we talk about a cyber attack, especially in case if we get one? How do we position ourselves? Is cybersecurity only managers' responsibility, or is it everybody's responsibility? And it's everybody's responsibility. We do tend to take a very human-centric approach when it comes to this. The other services we offer: legal advice in terms of data protection and data privacy, marketing and design of publications related to cybersecurity issues, or creating resources for these NGOs to be able to access quickly and implement them themselves easily and at no cost whatsoever. Now, going back to what I said before about the builders, who are cybersecurity experts employed by local or international companies. So these builders, they volunteer between 20 hours to 40 hours a year to protect NGOs online. On the side of the NGOs, after we connect with them, we discuss what their needs are, then we create missions that are listed on our cooperation platform. The purpose of our cooperation platform is twofold, let's say. On one side, it's for these humanitarian NGOs to have a safe space to be able to share their experiences, their worries, and to get the necessary help they need. But also on the other is to ensure that the builders get access to a community of professionals, they get access to training, and they get access to concrete help to improve their skills and to maintain their certifications as well. Now, just to give you a quick overview of where we stand, we launched the program in October 2021. Since then, now we count more than 40 humanitarian NGOs. To be more precise with you, we have around 44 right now, from almost all over the world, actually. This far, we managed to create 87 missions, out of which 52 are completed or about to be completed, and 35 are still open. Now, new missions are being added weekly. The demand for this service, for this partnership, actually, it's big, and we're very happy to see that it adds such a huge value to the work of the humanitarian NGOs. Now, just to give you a quick overview of the companies supporting us, you will certainly recognize some of them, such as Microsoft, Telefonica, probably Logitech as well, LinkedIn. And here is what our NGOs have to say about us. Now, we got these testimonials at the end of each mission. Actually, what we do at the end of each mission is to create a survey that we share to measure satisfaction, but also to see what we can improve in the program. And these testimonials actually show the added value and the impact of the program, and we are very happy to continue to work with our beneficiaries and to expand even more. Now, to be completely transparent with you, the CyberPeace Builders is free for NGOs and it's going to stay free. But the program has fixed and various costs. And that is why we run on philanthropic and corporate donations from the companies that you have previously seen. Practically, the way it goes, these companies, they do provide us with financial support and also people, the builders. When we look for builders, these people must have been working for the company that we are talking to for at least a year before being able to join the program. But when they join the program, they represent the CyberPeace Builders. They are a CyberPeace Builder working for humanitarian NGOs. That's all on my side. I hope it was clear, and I am open to your questions. Thank you very much for your attention, and yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that presentation. I think Nikos has just dipped, but you do have some questions in chat. So first question is, what are the first steps that NGOs should do to be more protected?
Well, the first steps an NGO should do to be more protected is to literally take the time to invest in the training of their staff. Cybersecurity, it's on one side about technology, and on the other, it's about people. And people are at the forefront of most of the cybersecurity issues NGOs encounter. So a humanitarian NGO, the first thing they can do is to really invest into training people and developing their security and protection measures.
Awesome, thank you so much. And another question just came in, and it says, also, can anyone become a builder? Is that like something that's open to the public?
As a matter of fact, just as I mentioned at the end of my presentation, well, the person who would like to become a builder has to be employed by a company. And they must have been working for that company for a year. Unfortunately, we cannot work for the time being with people who are self-employed or working individually. Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
That it does. And someone else followed up with, what scope is there for people to get involved?
Well, if people get involved into this program, let's say there are two benefits. On one side is the benefit of actually helping humanitarian NGOs working in different fields in health, education, peace, and so on, to actually strengthen their cybersecurity posture, to improve their systems, and then to be able to deliver their critical services to the vulnerable people I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation. And then secondly, you see, the builders are not in a position just to give. We designed this program in such a way that the builders, yes, they do give time, they do give their knowledge, they do give their expertise, but in return, there is a community they can tap into, they can access a community, a training, let's say, on diversity and inclusion, on victimology, on this whole universe of humanitarian NGOs and how they work and how they operate. So there is another benefit and scope to that.
Awesome, thank you so much. Ms. Root asks, do you have to work specifically for a cybersecurity company for a year, or can it be like another company? Is there any like leniency around that?
There is some leniency for as long as the job is actually in cyber. So it doesn't have to be necessarily a technical job. It can be on cyber, but on the marketing side, on communications, in legal. So we are open to a lot of profiles because that's what actually going to make the whole experience and make the whole program richer, and to be able to actually provide more support and help.
Awesome, thank you. And another question came in, which is, what could convince NGOs to get more involved in cybersecurity training? Any opinion on that?
Well, first of all, NGOs, when we talk about cyber, the first reaction is, what? So they just don't know. They need to probably be more exposed to the topic, first of all. Probably they need to be, so first of all, they need to be more exposed to the topic, and the topic has to be maybe a bit more vulgarized, if that's the right word, to be more accessible to these people working in humanitarian NGOs who, just to give you an example, we work with NGOs who have 5 or 6 or 10 staff, but they have no IT person, and they realize cybersecurity, it's a serious matter, but they just don't understand it. And the way we do it on our side is to have a very structured, concrete approach that we explain things. We don't just do things without explaining them, and also we do it at the pace of the NGO. So I think to answer the question, to sum it up, it's very important to render this field maybe a bit more accessible to NGOs, and also that the industry invites NGOs to conferences, to talks, to open a bit, the gates on both sides.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. And then, another question has come in. To look back on the previous point, can any kind of NGO join?
Yes. So the most important criteria for us is that the NGO is delivering critical services. It's a humanitarian NGO. What does this mean? Delivering critical services such as health, nutrition, education, peace. Sometimes it's a bit difficult to distinguish between maybe a charity and a humanitarian NGO. A charity probably works more locally. They do an amazing work, and it's very important what they do, but maybe they don't have that international reach, or they don't have that critical services aspect to it. And that's why we focus right now only on humanitarian NGOs at the beginning. I hope it answers the question.
Definitely did. Thank you so much for your time. It was a fantastic presentation.
Thank you.
Atomic, any other closing remarks?
I quite enjoyed it. It's also quite fun, that we're literally I think 20 kilometers away from one another. So it's pretty nice.
One more last minute question came in. How can people support this project?
Well, first of all, people can start sharing the CyberPeace Builders on their social media in an individual capacity. Start the conversation a bit about what we're doing and how we're doing it. And then if, in terms of a company, they would like to join, just drop us an email at assistance@cyberpeaceinstitute.org. And then we can have a discussion, see what we can put in place and how they can support the program and to help humanitarian NGOs.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this entire presentation. This was well put together. It's fantastic. Many people loved it. Thank you for answering the questions too.
Thank you very much.
It was great having you here.
Yeah, same for me. And great conference. Thank you for organizing it again. And all the best to the next speakers.